This is a lesson in atmospheric heating, and it's going to explain how Earth's atmosphere is heated by the three forms of heat transfer, which are radiation, conduction, and convection. So I highlighted in yellow the places that explain those three forms of heat transfer. So let's get started with the sun, that's also highlighted in yellow. And as you will see as we go through our meteorology unit, all weather is driven by heat from our sun. And it's radiation that brings thermal energy from the sun to Earth. And radiation is heating the surface of the Earth. So if you look way over on the left part of the diagram, it shows solid round circles. And if you look over on the key, those solid round circles represent molecules on Earth's surface, such as soil and dirt. So Earth's surface is directly being heated by radiation. Now, the atmosphere, air molecules, touch the Earth's surface, and the first bit of heat transfer that warms the atmosphere is happening by conduction, where the air molecules are touching the Earth's surface. So that you can see is also highlighted in yellow, conduction. Now, most of the heat transfer throughout the atmosphere happens by convection. And so you can see right in the middle of the diagram are two convection currents. And as you already know, convection is the movement of a fluid, either air molecules or water molecules, from a warm place to a cool place. And that happens in a circular pattern as shown here. And there's two convection currents shown in this picture. So what I want to do now is go over 4 steps, and I've circled them in blue, first, second, third, and fourth. The 4 steps to explain how a convection current happens. Okay, so let's start with step number 1, the first step, and it's saying air molecules at Earth's surface are warm. Okay, and if you look right there in the middle of the diagram, those air molecules, the open round circles that are right close to Earth's surface, they are warmed, and they are warmed initially by conduction from the warm Earth. Okay, so they're warm, and things that are warm naturally are going to have a lot of kinetic energy. So those air molecules are moving around a whole lot. They're spreading out. They're taking up as much space as they can. So that also means that they are low density. Now that a quick way to understand density is to just think of how crowded they are. So I also put that over in the key. So high density air molecules just means that the air molecules are very crowded together. So they're not going to have very much energy, not very much kinetic energy. They're going to clump together and be crowded. Now the opposite of that is low density air molecules. And those air molecules would have a lot of kinetic energy, and they would be moving around a lot and spaced out a lot so that they are not crowded. So low density air molecules are air molecules that are not crowded together, and that's what warm air is like. It's also low pressure because if they're spreading out and they're far apart from one another, they don't have a lot of air molecules on top of them, and they're not being pulled down by gravity as much because they have a lot of their own kinetic energy causing them to move around. So in that first step, air molecules at Earth's surface have a lot of kinetic energy. They're not crowded. They have low density. They have low pressure, and therefore they spread out and rise. So you can see right there in orange, there's a summary of that. It says warm air has high kinetic energy, low density, low pressure, and it rises. So those air molecules at Earth's surface are going to rise up just as the arrows show, and that brings us to the second step. So as they rise farther and farther away from the warm surface of the Earth, they start to cool off. They're losing their kinetic energy to the other molecules maybe that they're bumping into. So they're slowing down. They start to gain in density, right? They're cooling off. They have less energy, so they're more crowded. And they start to sink. Okay, so that brings us over to the third step. So cool air begins to sink. It's not zooming around as much with so much kinetic energy anymore. It's gaining in crowdedness, and the pressure is building. It's becoming higher pressure. There's more air on top of it, lots of air molecules above, and as it gets closer and closer down to Earth's surface, gravity is pulling more on it. So if we zoom over and look at the summary of cold air written in green, cold air has low kinetic energy, high density, high pressure, and it sinks. Okay, so now we're on to the fourth step, and at this point the air molecules have reached Earth's surface again, so they're quite cool, high pressure, and they are clumping up in one area there. So now you have a differential in air pressure. You've got a location of low air pressure where the warm air is rising up, and you have that place of kind of cool, high pressure air. So air molecules are now going to move from high pressure to low pressure. And that is basically the definition of wind. So those are the locations on Earth where you will experience wind, where you've got high pressure air moving to complete the convection current toward an area of low pressure. So the convection current, once again, starts with warm air rising up, starts to cool off, it spreads out, it starts to sink and increase in pressure and density, and then you've got that clear differential, and then that cool air moves in toward the place of rising air, creating wind. So that is a convection current. So you've got a summary at the bottom that compares and contrasts warm and cold air. You have the key that explains what those different little circles are on the diagram. You've got an explanation of high density versus low density air molecules, and you've got a diagram that shows what's happening with radiation, conduction, and convection.